In this edition of Chalk Talk, freshman center Ana Nicksic and senior libero Ali Deatsch help give us some insights on the inner workings of the Phoenix volleyball team's offense and defense. Let's start with the offensive attack. As setter, Nicksic is the quarterback of the offense, and it is her job to make play calls before and during points.
I'm going to give them a call right off a serve receive, and I'll tell them you're going to hit this right now and this on free. During the play, if they're caught in, because it gets really jumbled at points, like if the outside's all the way pulled in, they're not going to be able to get out there for the 4. So they'll be talking to me and calling it 2. So I listen to them and I see where they are and I try and set whatever they call. If someone's passing and they also are hitting, which the outsides do, or sometimes our right side will, you have to make sure that the ball will be high enough or you're giving them a set that they can obviously hit. And same with middles, if they're running from all the way on one side of the court, you probably won't set them a slide because it's just a lot to get there and stuff, and you want to keep the ball as low as possible to where we can beat the block on the other side. I'm really just trying to get isolations, like where there's one blocker or no blockers, and yeah, go from there.
Here you can see the pre-serve play call, as Nicksic reads an opening to exploit and calls for a slide attack. Outside hitter Chanel Smith bumps the serve to Nicksic, who's already in position at the center of the court. As Nicksic prepares to hit, middle blocker Chris Harris makes her move to the outside. Nicksic places her set just inside the antenna so that the opponent's middle blocker is taken out of the play, and Harris has the opening she needs down the line for the kill. Now let's take a look at the defensive side of the game with libero Ali Deatsch.
So there's a couple different defensive schemes that you can play with regard to how the back row sets up behind the block and where the block is supposed to set up with regard to the hitter and the angle of approach of the hitter and whatnot. There's different assignments based on the defensive scheme that you're playing, so a blocker might be responsible for 2 different hitters, and if she can't get there or whatnot, I have to jump into that seam, stuff like that. There's a lot of communication that goes on if, my right side blocker is supposed to be lining up right on that outside hitter's hitting shoulder, and, she leaves me too much space in the wedge to dig, or she leaves too much line to dig, and it's so different because if a set is too far inside, she has to adjust that block and she has to move around with that hitter. There's a lot of reading that goes on. So it's not necessarily that you have to go to a specific spot. With each defensive scheme, there's an area that you're responsible for digging, or a particular spot that you're supposed to read into.
Reaction time is key on defense, as you can see from the shift made when the opposing setter makes her pass. Outside hitter Chanel Smith and middle blocker Celia Eddy go up for the block, while Ali Deatsch guards the line and the remaining players set up to defend an angled attack. The blockers continue their impressive season and finish off the point before the backs have to get involved.